Step into my world with me. I will show you what I see. This is On Imagination with a Healing Garden. I'm talking about spiritual coma. And it's been a very long time to get to this point where I can sit down and finally just, the words have come to me. And I've got this beautiful rotation. I don't do schedules, I do rotations. And I finally found this gorgeous rotation that's just a giant triangulation of linguistics, physics, and spirituality. And I don't do spirituality. I don't. To me, that's just physics. And I've talked to so many scientists about it. I'm in the scientist community. And I've talked to them about it. And one of the things, just a minute, I got to fix my crown. There we go. That's better. So one of the things that I've been doing for a while when I'm talking to them is they're breaking everything down for me, and I'll provide them with my work. And they're like, it's metaphysics on juice. Like, it's juiced metaphysics. I really hate the word metaphysics, because metaphysics in the philosophical world is discredited. It's like, oh, it's garbage. But it's like, well, did you read the book or did you just stare at the cover? And all of them stared at the cover. None of them read the fucking book, so they don't understand what metaphysics is. So we have a massive breakdown of communication now happening in the physics world. And physics, it's basically physics, philosophy, and spirituality. Let's just call it duck a duck. We're talking about physics, spirituality, and philosophy, okay? And that's it. So we got philosophy, I'm drawing a graph, and we've got physics, and we have spirituality. Now, we also have psychology in this. And if all of these people had just studied philosophy, they'd go, oh, that's all of these subjects. The problem is philosophers just stare at the book. They don't actually open and read the book. And what I mean by this is in philosophy, you have Plato's curriculum. You're supposed to do the curriculum. But the philosophers didn't do the curriculum. They just read about the curriculum. So they didn't do the curriculum, which is equivalent to reading about philosophy, but they didn't actually do philosophy. So now you've got a whole lot of philosophers who didn't do philosophy, who are studying and mastering philosophy without actually being inside of it. Philosophy is an experience. It's not a study. It's an experience. It is the science and the art and the logic of experiencing all academic disciplines. So a philosopher who has experienced philosophy actually has gone through all of the academic disciplines. And when you do that, you've got metaphysics and ontology, which is what I am, an ontological physicist. So then you've got spirituality, and spirituality is just a de-evolved, uneducated version of physics. You're just feeling physics. And the more you learn and study physics, the more you can go, oh, it's my spirituality. So when I hear someone talk about their spirituality, I'm going, oh, you mean you're talking about your physics? And the more you study physics, the more you retire spirituality, and you just, oh, okay, it's physics. You're literally walking through the metaphysical. Now, in the meantime, physicists don't study psychology, and they don't study spirituality. And they're starting to. And this is where it's starting to all merge. So it's all integrating, which is what we learn when you do philosophy. So I'm looking at all of this, and I'm going, okay, all right, people, let's gather around, let's figure this out. And I don't do silence. I don't do silence. When I see a whole bunch of people talking and whispering in secret, I'm going, what you talking about? I'm that person. When I hear people whispering, I deliberately talk. Like, every time my children do this thing where they're like, this is what my brother's doing, this is what my sister's doing. Oh, so I'll just like openly talk about it, because silence is narcissism. Silence nurtures narcissism. And if you don't open and talk, well, now you got secrets. Now you've got problems. Now, oh, I don't know. I don't do that. So I'm sitting here doing the work I'm doing in psychology, doing the work I'm doing with societal solutions. And I've got all these people coming to me and telling me everything about their lives. And I'm tired of keeping this information quiet. So I was talking to a lady today, one of my patrons, and I said this to her, and I'm like, we just need to talk about this because I'm just tired of not talking about it. So this is me going, I'm tired of not talking about it. We're going to talk about it. We are all gods and we're waking up. That's what's going on. And the problem is you've got first, second, third, fourth perspectives who can't even feel this stuff. And they just can't because they haven't grown up yet. And that's okay. They haven't grown up. You'll understand when you're older. So you've got the adults who are people who are ethically higher in education. It's an ethical IQ. So when you have a higher ethical IQ, you can start feeling the frequency. So we're all born feeling the energy, that is emotions. But when you hit the sixth ethical perspective, you can feel the frequency. So now you're feeling energy and frequency. Now, as you become disciplined in energy, you also can feel the force. And a lot of people, no one has been trained in this. You have to be trained in energy, force, physics, and frequency. I would sit under my piano teacher's piano while he played the grand piano, and I would just sit there and wallow in the frequency of this thing just vibrating around me. God, I would just wallow in the frequency of physics. So I'm looking at all of this going, okay, so we just have a big physicists convention. And I'm trying to figure this out. And I've been over to the science community and I love my people there. And I am the science community. Like I am part of it. We all are the science community. Scientists are the science community. That's our people. And we're all going, oh, it's this, and we're all picking at it. And we're all pulling it apart. And that's cool. And a lot of us are spiritualists over there. And I used to think, what the hell is going on with physicists that they're too arrogant to study spirituality? Only to find out, oh, I'm the ignorant one. This is when I crossed over into solid physics, is when I realized, oh, they are studying it. We're just feeling it. So you can feel physics. That's what's going on. You're feeling physics. So the scientists are over there and they have their own calling, which is bravely go where no man has gone before. So they're just playing with particles and they're doing their thing. They're doing their physicist things. And that's their calling. My calling is to leave the science realm and come back over and talk to everybody and go, all right, guys, this is what's going on in the science realm. So, but you got to be a philosopher and you have to have Pythagorean psychology to do this. So I'm now walking back over into the common man going, all right, now how do I talk to people? And here's the problem. There's a communication barrier because when you're a physicist, you speak language. And I speak abstractic. So I'm like, all right, I got a communication barrier. I got to translate all of my crap from abstractic and science talk over to, and it's not talking down to, it's not dumbing down. That's so condescending. It's a translation. So I got to translate all this crap in my head to your head. I'm like, all right, guys, we can do this. We can do this. So this is a communication barrier. And we're going to get through this together because we can do this. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to figure out how to bridge the gap. It's called a perspective gap. And a perspective gap is when you have two or more perspectives that don't understand each other. So I'm sitting here with my perspective, and you're over there with your perspective, and it's like, so I got to translate that. Now, I have no idea how to translate this, which is why I'm sitting here trying to figure out all the shit. And then I'm sitting here going, how long should my YouTube videos be? Should they be 8 minutes? Should they be 10 minutes? In the meantime, I can talk a lot. So I'm talking a lot. And I'm going, wow, they're going on for like 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, that's going to kill my watch time. So now I'm thinking maybe I should keep these down to like 10 minutes, which I can totally do. I can do this. So I got to think this out. And I'm thinking, what if I do like science crack? I can do science crack. Science crack is when I deliver science to you in really fast 10 minutes of this is what my problem is. Because I really want to talk about spiritual coma. Spiritual coma is when you're with a partner and your partner, no, it's not even with your partner. You could have it. Anybody can have this. Spiritual coma is when your spirituality has not woken up yet. Now, my partner had a moment where he woke up and he remembered me. Like, I know that energy. Oh, I know that energy. We were children together once. We were 4 and ancient all at the same time. And in that moment, we relived everything. And then he had amnesia and he forgot. And he remembered all of his memories and it scared the fuck out of him. And he just shut right down. And now he's in a spiritual coma. So I woke up in the meantime. Like we woke up, well, I don't think we woke up together. Like he remembered. And I went, you know who I am. And it was so beautiful that day. And then I went on and my spiritual coma opened up and I went, all right, I know who I am now. I know who I am. And I'm here and I'm doing my thing. And I grow on and I'm like, doing my thing. And I get to this point and my partner's still in a coma. And I'm going, okay. And he's going to get to that point where the awakening hits him and he's going to wake up and I'm going to be like, yes. I don't use these words. I just decided to start using them to translate because maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm too resistant to the language and you're not understanding me. So maybe if I start using your language, you'll understand me. Because I got to translate from abstract over to spirituality stuff. But it's just physics. And my problem is I've been called insane all my life, which is why I did my science thing, is because, well, I'm a scientist. But it was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck their bias. I got nothing to lose. They already took my sanity, so I'm just going to walk into the abyss and just figure this shit out. So I went deep into the abstract, deep into the abstract. I went into the abstract where no one's walked before. And then I just went further and further because, hey, what did I get to lose? And it was in the depths of the abstract that I found sanity and all the words to explain all of this. And I went, aha! And I broke the code and figured out life, the universe, and everything. And then I went, Eureka! And I came dawdling back through the physics. And now I came back here and I went, and I went, oh crap, I got to translate all this shit. So then it took 2 years for me to develop a language called abstractic, just to translate all this shit to you guys. You have no idea how hard this journey has been. So I translated all of this shit and I'm still having this comprehension gap. And I'm like, all right, I'm able to translate it, but I'm speaking abstractic. And I've talked to 3 different beautiful people and they're like, Anna, honey, I'm following it, but they're not. Ah! And they're like, you got to break it down even more. You mean I got to translate it into 6 ethical perspective? I can do that. So that's the agenda. So I have got to figure out how to take abstractic and physics and science and translate it into 6 ethical perspective. I don't know what to do. But we're going to figure it out together because I have a message. I come in peace. And I've just got to, and I don't know. Maybe that's the problem, is I don't know. I do know. I just don't know how to translate it yet into the 6th perspective because I'm going, oh, the language is all wrong. And the language is the problem because the language is the problem. And I'm going, how to explain this to people? So I feel like the 13th warrior when he's sitting there just listening and observing to people. And I'm like, all right, I got to figure out this language so I can explain it. And I'm just, good God, these fucking language barriers. And it all comes down to the language. And I don't speak the language. Like I'm the person going, you're saying feminine. What does that even mean? Because in the abstract, we don't have gender. I come in peace. I am an ambassador of the abstract. That's where I'm from. I am an ambassador of the abstract. And I really suck at language skills. Not really, just translating into other languages that I don't know yet. So I got all this language and stuff, and I've come to deliver a message. And I'm going, how the fuck do I translate this shit? So I got to figure out how to translate all this stuff. So, and then I've got all these people with their opinions. Oh, I hate those people. Oh my God, do I hate those people? Good God. Because they're just like, this is what I think. Are you educated? No. Do you have logic? No. Did you get any science with your opinion? No. You just thought up shit. Yeah. You just thought up shit. That's it. You're handing me toilet paper. So I don't listen to the toilet paper people. Okay, now. So I got this problem, which is really just a lesson. And this is my obstacle, is I got to bridge the gap between my world. I'm on the other side going, I come in peace. I'm from the abstract. I feel like I'm in a castle outside across the moat, and I need you to lower the drawbridge. Oh my God, this is exactly how I feel. Yes, lower the drawbridge. Who are you? I'm someone different. And that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. But I'm going. I'm now at 15 minutes, which means I now should have to shut this all off because this is science crack. Yes, this is science crack. All right, so I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to continue it. Maybe later, definitely. I just got to think. All right, there you go. This is. I think I found my groove. All right. May the kindest of words always find you. This has been an imbroglio.